the morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
And a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Saturday, July 19th. We've got a great card here of sports betting action today, including World Cup third place game. I'm trying to send out the links like I'm send out the video like I'm supposed to here. Just trying to figure out how to do this again. Here after a week off. We were back yesterday, but good to see everyone here in the chat. We're going to have a great sports betting day. Of course, don't forget here on the new Sports Money Network, we do have our companion stream coverage today of UFC Oklahoma City. Make sure you're joining the guys here at I would say probably around 4:45 Eastern, 1:45 Pacific time for our coverage of UFC Oklahoma. It's a 12-fight card tonight. The guys will like that. But they'll be able to make it all the way. Middleweights, Dricus du Plessis and Kamaru Usman go here in this one. Du Plessis, the former middleweight champ, comes in off a unanimous decision loss to Chimaev in a title defense last August as a 220 dog. He's up here against Kamaru Usman, the longtime welterweight champ, who's now moving up to middleweight here, for the remainder of his career here, I would guess. Maybe it's just going to suit him better. He did snap a 3-fight skid last time out with a win over Buckley at a fight night main event back in June of 25. So he's been out of action here, but he will get his chance here today, and we'll be with you for the companion stream coverage here on the Sports Money Network. Again, join the guys here for their show at 4:45 Eastern, 1:45 Pacific, I would think here. 12-fight card, they'll probably get right under, probably be some delays in there. Who knows? All right, thanks for coming, everybody. Great to have everyone there. We go. Got that sent off a little bit. And, hey, we got a Major League Baseball card today, 16 games on tap, including a doubleheader. Also, 3 games in the WNBA. Also, there'll be the Summer League basketball playoffs today with Houston and Memphis, Golden State, and the Lakers. There are 2 games in the CFL today. Those are the highlights of the sports betting calendar. We've got some tennis semifinals going on right now. Also, third-round play at Royal Birkdale, and leaders haven't quite teed off yet. We got a few top movers here today, including Brian Fox, Justin Smith, moving up the leaderboards here on Saturday. Really the 2 strongest players here right now. Jordan Smith up to 5 under par through 6, but Fox has been the big mover today. He's at 7 under. He's almost through his round, really just 1 stroke back. We'll see how low they go today. Seen some other scores so far. 4 under was turned in earlier today as one of the golfers who just finished a 1 under as well. Looks like they are going pretty high, actually. Those 2 might be outliers. You have some other players here. Minwoo shot a 1 over today. Also, Keegan Bradley shot a 4 over. So we'll see. We got some other guys too. Ben Griffin, 3 over on the day as well. Kitayama through 15. He's 1 over. Ricky's 1 over, and he's almost done with his round. So I think this is going to be a pretty good round for Fox. Yeah, some of these other guys are going to be able to turn in some scores for sure here. So We'll see if he can hang on there in the top 5 or so. He's actually just made a birdie here at 17 to tie for the lead with Lucas Herbert here. Right now, the favorite to win the tournament is Scottie Scheffler. Still, despite the fact that he does trail still here by 4 strokes, but he is 11-2 right now. Cam Young 7-1, Bryson 9-1. DeChambeau received a 2-stroke penalty yesterday after the round. Maybe it was determined during the round, but was notified after the round, and that cost him. He would have been 7 under right now, just 1 stroke off the lead heading into today. But Scheffler got a penalty for kind of clearing the way. You can see it looked bad to me on screen, like he knew what he was doing. I mean, he was in some tall grass there, some fescue, I think, and couldn't really get a good back swing, and went back to take another look at the ball from behind it and kind of matted his feet down a little bit. They deemed that to be, not the right thing to do. So some people defended Bryson in doing what he did, saying that really didn't affect the ball, but it affected his backswing, so he wouldn't hit any extra grass. So, I guess if we don't call it, then maybe everyone should be able to do that. You should be able to clear the grass behind you so that your club does not strike the grass on your backswing, I think. I mean, I don't want to see him get penalized, but he defended it vehemently. Maybe he didn't know what he was doing. Maybe he thought he was doing the right thing. So I don't know. Someone called it out, and that's what happened. All right, we'll preview the games here in just a moment. And good to have everyone here on the show. Okay, let me take a look at this here. There we go. I think I got it. I think I got the show up there. Okay, great. Nice to see everyone joining me here in the chat. We did have some winners here yesterday on the show. We'll get to those right away, and we'll start the show for our Sports Betting Saturday. But we did have some morning steam winners yesterday and some premium pick winners as well, where you can get more picks from me here over at winnable.com/Ramon. This is where you can get extra plays. Hopefully we're going to give you some great plays here on the show for the day. But if you want my best plays here, my sports money premiums, head to winnable.com/Ramon and use the promo code STEAM at checkout. That'll save you 20%. Way I run it is about 38 cents a day when you subscribe for $19.95 a month. And if you like what we do here, you can support me here on the channel by subscribing over at winnable.com. We've got a lot of you signed up, and I really do appreciate it. And that keeps me coming back here every day to the Sports Money Network. If you comment in the chat, we will have a contest later on for everyone and make a drawing where someone will win 1 month of the plays. So really appreciate that. We had some winners here yesterday. Cincinnati Reds were a winner for us with our premium pick over the Colorado Rockies there. As the Reds won at 7-2. Actually, our pick was on the under there, 12 runs and the 7-2 victory. Also had a winner here with the Cardinals first 5 on the show yesterday, as they were able to get it done with McGreevy on the road against Arizona. Also, a morning steam winner here, Toronto and Chicago game to go over. They're playing a little bit of long ball in there. Chicago got that win over Toronto, pummeled them really. Also, morning steam winner, Baltimore and Houston under yesterday with Kramer and Lambert. Brought home a winner here yesterday on the Morning Steam show as well, with trying to find the winners. Here's what we were trying to do over in the WNBA. Maybe we had one over there with our picks. Yes, there we go. I knew I had one somewhere in here. First half, Chicago Sky. That's where we're going yesterday. How about that? That'll be our winner for the show there. Also, yesterday had the winner here with the first half over with Connecticut and Phoenix. So I don't know. That didn't look like too many winners actually yesterday here on the show. Did anybody call me out? No wonder no one's here yet. We got a couple dozen of you in here right now, so we'll get ready to start the show and go over the games. Like I said, 16 games today. And also included, we'll start with our soccer coverage right now. Let's go ahead and start the show with England taking on France here at the World Cup. The consolation game here in Miami with England coming in an underdog. France favored by a half a goal, minus $1.15. The total here is 3.5. Maybe it is shaded to the under at minus 140, but it's certainly not what you might expect from even two explosive teams. If it were a regular World Cup, if this would have been the final, we would have 3.5, but maybe the defense will lack some intensity here in this game just because of the motivation of the two teams coming in. You have an England team that comes in off of their game against Spain, of course, where they or England against Argentina, of course, where it was practically World War III out there between those two teams. Argentina obviously got the win, but for England, it had to be way more emotional. Now, granted, Spain and France was a terrific game as well. Spain got the win. France had to be disappointed in that one, but England left their heart on their sleeve, and you saw at the end of the game they wanted to fight. They wanted to fight those Argentines like it was the Falkland War, and they, very upset. Yes, I'm sure France was upset too, but they're going to come in with a little bit more focused expectations here. Now, Mbappe may play only about 70 minutes in this game. I don't know. Maybe if it's important enough, they will play him longer. But mostly, this is, again, just a consolation game. It's funny to me that they even play this game anymore. Actually, you don't see many tournaments still playing consolation games out there, but these two will for sure. So it sets up an intriguing matchup to have a third place game. Nobody's playing for the championship here, but to me, I think France will come in with the more focused motivation in this game. It's arguable they could have been coming off the actual championship game technically. Now, I'm not saying that Spain is going to go and beat Argentina. In fact, I've got Argentina, of course, as my top pick from the betting pre-tournament. So I'm rooting for Argentina. But to me, England had to be far more disappointed in losing to Argentina in a game that was a true country grudge match. Remember, these two countries were just at war a couple of decades ago. For a few weeks anyway. In there, I don't know, maybe it was 48 hours. I got to do my history research again on that. I remember the Falklands War like it was yesterday, but we'll see here how it goes in this one. But I gotta like France's chances, and I like how I said that. Over beating England, I think they'll do it in regulation actually here and be able to win this one, maybe even by multiple goals. I just don't trust any motivation here from England after what happened. Yes, they have the talk is that England will swap out more starters than France might in this game as well. So going to go ahead and roll here with France today to win it over England, minus a half a goal in this one. All right, yeah, wasn't going to get too into it here. I'm not going to break down what happened in the last 6 games between these two teams. Just going to roll with the motivation here as my key factor in the game, and think that England just might not have enough. And when you got guys like Mbappe and Conte and Shirky in there, I think those guys will be the guys. So we'll see what happens tonight. We'll just go on to baseball here. Not many people are in there. Good to see everyone here. Hope some people are with me and would like to comment on the games today. If not, I'll just roll it alone here and get started on our Major League Baseball coverage. Pittsburgh Pirates taking on here the Guardians. Game 1 of a doubleheader in this one with the Pirates. An underdog here. Gavin Williams goes for Pittsburgh in this one, and Jared Jones for the Pirates. For the Guardians, I meant to say Guardians here with Gavin Williams. We talked about this one yesterday, so we won't go too heavily on it here. But Williams, a 3.8 ERA and a 10-4 record coming in. Jones is the hotter pitcher right now by far. Jones is starting to look like the Jones that we saw before he was injured. It took him a long time to come back. He needed a little bit more recovery than a lot of pitchers when it comes to recovering from elbow style surgeries here. So right now, though, Jones comes in here looking real sharp here of late. One of the better arms right now in the league. Actually, he's really started to shine. Yes, his ERA is 4.37, but over his last few games, just 2 hits allowed and 1 run in his last 2 games right now, striking out left-handers at 29%. Has a 1.14 whip despite that 4.37 ERA. It's a good matchup for him. Yes, the Guardians are left-handed heavy here, and that might, on the surface, look like a good advantage, but Jones is kind of a reverse splits guy a little bit, and they also struggle against high-velocity arms. They've been whiffing against guys with blazing fastballs here. Sandy had 8 Ks in 7 innings against Cleveland. Erie Perez had 6 Ks in 6 innings. Taj Bradley had 10 plus Ks, as did Sean Burke of the White Sox as well. DeGrom had 9 strikeouts against the Guardians as well. So I think he can mow here. Williams struggled a bit in June, but did have a big game against the Twins with 11 strikeouts and 3 hits allowed in 7 innings. And still has good numbers. So, look, it could be a good pitching matchup here between these 2 teams. Now, I probably shouldn't deviate from what we took yesterday here on the show as we went under in the first 5 with these 2 teams. So, just to avoid any confusion here, I think we'll stick with that and go under in the first 5. That's what we did yesterday. I don't think there's been enough significant changes other than the fact that there will be a doubleheader today. But we'll just take it under here so that there's no confusion. I don't mind this under for sure. I mean, you do have, like I said, I think you got decent pitching here in this game. The total is 4, so we'll go under here in this one with Pittsburgh and Cleveland today. All right. Hey, look, good to see everyone here. Love to hear from you in the chat. If you've got any picks, what I usually do is show them on the screen, and you'll be eligible also for that drawing. So, all right, next up, got the Twins here on the road against the Cubs. Cubs are favored in this one, minus $1.45. The total, maybe everybody was banned. I don't know, maybe everybody got Cubs $1.45 in this one. The total 9. Matt Boyd goes here for the Cubs. Taj Bradley, we just talked about him. He goes for the Twins in this one. Twins got the win yesterday over the Cubs. That big 3-run home run by Ryan Jeffers was the big blow as the Twins here. Look, a pretty good price, it feels like. I mean, yes, the Cubs are strong here, 11 games over 500, but the Twins are still hanging in there, a 500 team. They definitely have a decent enough offense here that you'd think they'd be able to score some runs in this one. Yes, these pitchers are pretty decent. Bradley here, like I said, 27% K rate on the season. Last 3 games, he's up to 37% on his K rate with a 1.89 ERA and a 0.95 whip. Cubs offense has been pretty consistent, but didn't look good yesterday. And also they had 7 strikeouts against Bailey Ober. So this lineup strikes out quite a bit. You know, against right-handers, they've averaged 6.7 strikeouts in their last 10 starts against right-handed pitching. That's a lot of whiffing. And, of course, with Bradley going, that only makes it even more, it seems like. Boyd does have a 4.5 ERA on the season, but since coming back from injury, just 3 earned runs through his first 3 starts back with 2 shutout stints before he gave up 4 earned runs to the Reds last time out. He still threw 6 1/3 innings in that one. So still looking pretty good. The Twins have had their woes against left-handers a little bit this season, but they were a little bit better in June. Still, they're nearly a bottom 5 team against lefties. So, yes, maybe their good offense does come more against righties here. Maybe it's a bounce back spot, for the Cubs, but I'm not sure. The price, I wouldn't want to get involved, I don't think, in this price with the Cubs unless you truly believe the Twins' bats might be a little bit cold here going up against a left-hander, and Boyd's done a pretty good job here overall. So I'm going to take the Twins here in this one to win as an underdog. Give me Minnesota today on the road here against the Cubs. Next up, the White Sox are at the Blue Jays here in this one, with Davis Martin going for the Sox, going up here against Shane Bieber. Blue Jays currently have lost 3 in a row, including yesterday's game. White Sox won their 4th straight. Martin, 3.41 ERA and a 9-4 record coming in. Shane Bieber has not looked good so far upon his return. 7.64 ERA, 0-1 record, 2.04 WHIP. And you wonder, how long is it going to take? I mean, maybe he should have had more of a rehab stint. I guess if you can come up here and, throw in your Shane Bieber, no one's going to, say no. But, Toronto, they're trying to get back involved in the race. They're falling more and more by the wayside every time. 7 games under 500. White Sox, 6 games over 500 right now. But, maybe it's an okay spot here for the Blue Jays if they can get the offense going, but they've got to get it going here against Martin. I know that the Sharps are going to be all over Toronto in this one, but it's hard to trust them right now, especially after yesterday's performance there. Final score was 12-4 in favor of the White Sox, and the White Sox have been dominating the Blue Jays so far this season. They've won them all. Here. White Sox won 3 in a row at home earlier this season, and they won this one yesterday, and they even won the last one before that. It's 5 straight wins. That was last year, but still. White Sox have won 5 straight against them. Now, Toronto has won 9 of the last 13 between the 2 teams here in Toronto, but maybe this is just a different White Sox unit. Toronto's lost 8 of their last 10 at home and also 13 of their last 19 overall, while the White Sox have won 4 of 5. So, I don't know. The Sharps, they see Shane Bieber. Remember, these guys don't know anything. They play numbers, and they see Shane Bieber, and they're ready to do it. But Davis Martin's been pretty fine for sure, and the White Sox are favored here. The White Sox here, 13-7 is a favorite this season. That's pretty good. Even, yes, you're supposed to win as a favorite, but tell you what, not everybody is close to 65% when they're favored. So, I don't know. I think the White Sox are the team to beat here, and I'm going to take them today against the Blue Jays. Give me the White Sox in this one. Let me see what's going on here a little bit. I know we've got viewers here, but just no one willing to comment with me, and I'm wondering if there is a technical issue. But we'll just keep rolling here. It's going to make the show fast, that's for sure. I'll try to see if I can't bring it up here right now and at least look at the – maybe I'm not getting the comments here in the software is what I'm thinking. Okay, well, I'll just keep moving on here. Thank you for joining me on the Morning Steam Show. Okay, maybe comments are disabled here. Okay, no, I see them down there. Okay, thank you guys. I'm just not getting the comments here in the chat today. Oh, we're on a private video today. Is that right? Let me see. YouTube doesn't support comments on private videos. Create a public okay. So we might be just with the subscriber only chat today. Is that right? Okay, so I don't see your comments here in the background. I can't show them on screen, but I do see them. I can look at them over here. So apologize for these technical issues today, or if it is a technical issue, I'm not sure. Okay. Thanks a lot, you guys. White Sox first five for Blake in there. Twins money line for Blake. Pirates money line for Blake. I'm just looking at the YouTube chat on screen now, so we'll try that. Nuke says it's not private. Okay, I think it's just probably a technical issue then here behind the in the software. This is just the way it's going to have to be today. So apologize if I miss all your comments, but I do see you all out there. Thank you guys. I got it at least handled here now. AOD Nuki in there. Stop Geo. Thank you as always for stopping by, and the like. All right, that's just the way it's gonna be. Show will be done quickly here. All right, the Reds are taking on the Rockies here. From this one, you got Rhett Lauder going for the Reds, and for the Rockies here, Tomo Sugano. Sugano, a 4.8 ERA, 8-4 record coming in. Lauder, 4.9 ERA, but a 3-6 record coming in for Lauder, 1.54 WHIP. You know, he does seem like he's a little bit better than these numbers. He's going to need some seasoning, though. I think that's all it comes down to in this one. You know, for the Reds and Rockies here yesterday, 7-2. The Rockies couldn't get that great offense going yesterday, huh? Where is that great offense? They couldn't get anything produced there against good old Singer, who's got terrible numbers. So how are they going to get something going here today? Now, they should, given the situation here with these two pitchers, I would think. It's hard to go over some of these Colorado games, even though they're just 22 and 24 to the under at home this season, about a 50-50. I'm sorry, 22 and 26 to the under, about a 50-50 proposition, actually. So let's see what you got here in this one as the Reds take on the Rockies. Lauder struggled, of course, 11% walk rate this season. They took him out of the rotation for a few starts here, I think 3 times around, but he was going in a bulk relief role. They were having him kind of have an opener and was throwing about 30 to 40 pitches, although when he starts, usually he goes about 80 pitches. So does face this Rockies lineup that has been a menace throughout the league here right now, but could only manage 2 runs yesterday. But still, Colorado, top 5 team against right-handers in slugging, OPS, and weighted runs created. And not sure if this will be a bullpen game or if Lauder will see extended work, but nonetheless, you'll probably get some extra hurlers in there. The Reds are 28-19 to the over on the road. They're 18-10 to the over as a favorite. So I think yesterday may have been, I don't want to say an anomaly here, and the number is 13 after all, but I am going to take a shot with this over in Colorado today at 13 runs. I think the runs might come a little bit early here with Lauder and Sugano. Let's just see. Sugano has been, bad all season, and his last 3 starts have been even worse. 7.88 ERA in his last 3 starts with a 2.99 batting average against. The Reds obviously looked a lot better yesterday, and against right-handers, they've been a little bit better. De La Cruz had a big game, went 4 for 5 with a home run, and he's always been a great hitter here in Coors, so he could have a big game. I'd probably try to hook up with De La Cruz in the prop game today. I think the Rockies should have, that was difficult to swallow with just 2 runs. I will take the over in this one. Should be noted, these 2 teams have not been going over of late. Colorado 2-7, their last 9. Cincinnati 3-7 to the under in their last 10 games. So we'll see, but both teams have kind of been trending under, but I'm going to try an over this time in Colorado at 13 runs. All right, let's see here. Under for Blake in there. And hello to Wine Time in the chat as well. And Nuke says get Razor. I don't know, Nuke. It does seem like a technical issue with the software. Actually, I don't know if I mean, I could maybe figure this out if I could figure out why. But it just says here that YouTube not supporting comments on private videos. So it sounds like something with the sending the info out between the two here, between the program that we use and YouTube. So okay, that's no problem. Just won't. And I didn't do the graphics today. I actually got in an argument with AI, believe it or not. It was the graphic thing wouldn't make it, and I said to the graphics, I said, like I said, no graphics then, chat. And he says, yes, I can do the graphics, but if the graphics execution isn't available, the data is insufficient, and was going on and on. I'm like having an argument with AI. He wouldn't do my graphic. Maybe did someone tell the AI that I wasn't using the graphics? Next up, the Mets are on the road here, taking on the Phillies. And Sean Manaea goes in this one, 4.56 ERA. Jesus Luzardo goes here for the Phils. Man, two guys heading in different directions. It feels like I said, Manaea to me feels like no wonder the Mets are terrible, right? I mean, you really can't be a championship club and have Manaea in there. Look, I mean, everyone's got a role. I mean, Manaea, I'd love to have him as a middle inning guy or something on a team, but when you got to use him as a starter, 4.56 ERA, 2-4 record coming in. Luzardo, pretty okay numbers here for sure right now. In fact, he's looked darn good here in a bit of late, despite having some control issues. But 2.51 FIP right now, and he's looked better here. 8 strikeouts in 5 of his last 6 starts, allowing just 6 earned runs in his last 6 games. So Luzardo's been on fire here, reducing his ERA big time. Manaea's been solid since he's been put in the rotation, actually. He flashed some 5% walk rate in his last 3 starts, and he's very strong against left-handers, 32% K rate. Conversely, he's had a hard time right now against right-handed sticks here currently. I mean, makes sense, but again, when you got Schwarber and Harper, maybe that does give a little bit of edge there. I don't know about an edge, but Phillies are a pretty big favorite here after all, and I don't know if I really want to lay that here, even as bad as the Mets have been, but man, still Mets struggle against left-handers. They rank at the bottom half of the league for sure. They've scored 1 run or less in 5 of their last 7 starts against left-handed starters. So Luzardo's already had a good game against the Mets once this season, and can they do it here again after what we saw, in yesterday's game between these two? See what the chat thinks in this one. Oh, no, I'm gonna have to. I got to look over here. Okay, maybe nothing, and I hope that the chat's rolling over there, but I just I don't know if I have to scroll it, or maybe I just am not going to be able to. No, okay, maybe no one had a pick. That's all. It's tough there, but I am getting the chat, and I'll recite them. I know it's a little different to flash them on the screen, and that's what I promise everyone that I do here on the show, but that's going to be not a possibility here, I think, today. Okay, there we go. Phillies over 2.5 runs first 5 for Blake in there. The Mets are 10-26 as an underdog this season, but the Phillies are 30-42 as a run line favorite. So I'm going to say that the Phillies here can get this one done. What I'll do is I'm going to take the Mets team total under in this one. This one's a little bizarre, so I'm going to go little third level here in this one. Give me the Mets team total under for a derivative in this one, just because of that scenario that I mentioned. Okay, let's see here. All right. See if I have it here right now. Okay, not quite in there, but I think it's going to be probably team total under. I'll say under 3.5 here at even money, probably. I don't have it right here, but I'm going to go Mets team total under as my play today. All right, here come the comment. Oh, no. Oh, it's weird. Okay. See, it's something through StreamYard, through YouTube, because I am getting Twitch comments, even though we know that they're always going to be bot, but I am getting those. So it's just the YouTube today, you guys. 9 legacy here, Twins money line, White Sox run line, Reds money line, and Mets money line. It could be something that I did, but that's okay. We'll just keep it rolling here right now. Cardinals and Diamondbacks today. Dustin May goes in this one up against Brandon Pfaadt of the Diamondbacks. He's back, and we don't mind here, but still Dusty May, yes, inconsistent. Yes, he's pulled through with some good performance as well. Still has a 4.5 ERA and a 5-6 record for Brandon Pfaadt. 4.7 ERA, 3-1 record. Arizona stopped the Diamondbacks' winning streak yesterday with the win 5-4, as St. Louis was able to win here on the road. Cardinals still, a good road team. 25-19. Arizona 24-17 is a favorite. 23-21 at home. Coming into this one, I will say that St. Louis here just 2-5 in their last 7 against Arizona. Arizona's won 5 of the last 6 at home against St. Louis. That one game was yesterday. Cardinals have gone under in 12 of their last 18 games overall. Both teams are solid unders, but man, I'm not so sure here this one's set for an under, even though both teams have gone under in 6 of their last 9 games overall. So see what you think, though, with May taking on Pfaadt here in this one. May comes in here with a 2.93 FIP, 23% K rate. That shows he is capable. Diamondbacks have been worse against right-handers, but still pretty decent at home. I think this lineup has probably looked as good as it has all season here of late, talking about Arizona scoring runs at least consistently right now. Yes, that was a great series against the Dodgers to end the first half, but did lose it yesterday. Still, they were an underdog in the game yesterday, and, well, here they're a slight favorite. Pfaadt has been a reliever this year. We know that I called it on-the-job training. I figured he was set to be in the rotation in his career here in Arizona. After 2 years of starting, now they've got him back in the rotation, and here he is, just 3 earned runs in his last 3 outings, going 5+ innings in each game. So Cardinals offense has been good on the road, solid versus right-handers. Maybe they can maybe he can deal a little bit here against these guys anyway. I kind of want to go to Arizona here right now and take the Diamondbacks in this one. Give me the Diamondbacks here to win against the Cardinals this afternoon. Blake took the Cardinals in there. Robert's on the under. Robert had a great time on his fish tour. And Woke His Joke says, why not use AI to make picks? Well, I actually got into a discussion about that with on another show yesterday afternoon. I talked about 10 to 15 minutes about AI. The problem is you just don't turn it loose. If you ask AI, give me the picks, you're going to get the favorite almost every. I mean, not that I've looked at it or done it, but you're pretty much going to get the favorite every time. It's really what you put into it. Now, you could go through, say you have a workflow, or say you do, I don't know, maybe you just look at the board and you just make your picks. But if you look at data, you could conceivably, copy and paste the data or create programs using, Claude or something that could analyze the data for you and then spew out the results so that you can Now, you should sign off on everything. When this AI craze really started, at least for me, I don't know, maybe some programmers have been into it for a long time, because we know that LLMs have been around. It just hasn't really been something the public has worked with. I started about 18 to 20 months ago, and I couldn't believe it then. And I can't believe how much it's changed just in 20 months. I mean, to me, this is the true next revolution. If you go through the history of time, right, at least in modern, I don't know, last 150 years, from the Industrial Revolution, right, to, into the mid 1900s, and then the internet around, 2000 or whatever, a little before that, but really booming around and now this. I mean, to me, this is the next big thing in the history of the world. The AI solutions, if you will. I know there's people are hot and cold on it for sure, but I am one that does think that is. I mean, you can be amazed how much time it saves me in my workload in my life here. So what I do is I actually have my script. I take all of my best info and type it in, and then have the script in the background when I'm reading. When I read to you, it's just bullet points. It basically was what stuff I was reading off before AI, and now I can write. I'm not, every day. Look, I wish I was. I wish we were, making, hundreds of dollars to do a show on national TV or something. But when it comes to just doing a nice, concise show, and I do this for my other coverage too. I know some people know, I do like local coverage on a website. I do like a high school and college football and basketball coverage, and it saves me so much time where I used to have to write a script that would take an hour to write. Now I could do it in 10 seconds or 15 seconds and it's done. You can't just set it loose. If you set it loose like it did in the beginning of the AI age, the chatbot age, I was even guilty on some shows where I was trying to make it work and I was using it, but the AI wasn't good enough. So this shows you what some of the problems are when it turn it loose for AI. And like I was reading a script, for example, on one show, and I was referring to players that were already, retired or, were out of the league or had changed teams. So you really it's really what you put into it there. So. And a great comment there from Steve talking about using the chat bots in there as well. Hello to Philly Eagle Flyer with his soccer picks in there. I got to say them here because I can't get them on screen. France, BTTS over 2.5. France team total over in the corners here. He thinks they'll go down to England here in this one. I just think England is not going to be as sharp here. Okay, anyways, Cardinals. Did I get my pick on the Diamondbacks here? Yes, I did. But I tell you what, one thing I do, I don't want to bore anybody, but, I cover, and this was the first year I did this last year because it's the first year where I could work with AI. So I would sit on a Friday night and watch 8 high school football games on the different monitors of the teams that I cover. And all I would do for the 2.5 hours of the game is type in everything that I saw. I have rosters in front of me, all the information loaded up into AI, previews of the games, and I just had one tab for each game or one, what they're called, the stories or, your chats. And every time I would see something, if this team, team A scored over here. Jimmy Jones scored on a 22-yard touchdown with 8:2:15 left. Can't do them all. But then at the end of the games, they'd be over. It'd only be 9:30 p.m. I would just turn the thing loose, and I would have 10 stories that I could publish half an hour, or not even a half an hour after the game, full game stories with all the scoring. And I'd look in max preps a little bit, take whatever coaches are texting me. I'd type all that in, and I'd let the AI do all the work. And then, of course, I'd read it and edit it. And worked great, man. I'm looking I was almost burnt out in my life, I got to tell you, until this AI stuff came along. Now I'm all fired up again. Okay, here we go with the Marlins taking on the Brewers. Max Meyer goes against Drohan in here. The Dronester, a 3.08 ERA, 4-3 record for Drohan. Max Meyer's 9-1. With a 2.58 ERA coming in. The Marlins lost yesterday to the Brewers. They're on a 4-game losing streak. Well, you got your stopper here in Max Meyer, so at least you've got your number one guy, one of the number one guys in the league right now. 2.58 ERA, 1.11 whip. Guy has one loss. so far. Drohan here, good numbers for sure coming in. He's looked pretty solid. Another one of these young Brewers pitchers where they just pull another one out of their system. Yesterday's game did go into extra innings. The Brewers did squeak out a win in the 10th inning. Marlins now with Max Meyer here. Great K rate so far for Meyer, 26% on the season and just a 5.7 walk rate in his last 3 starts. So that's going to be critical against the Brewers. They've struggled against right-handers really of late, averaging just 4.3 hits and 2.5 runs per game through their last 10 starts against right-handers, striking out 6+ times in 5 straight games here. So, yes, the Marlins here, it's a tough matchup, no doubt about it, against these Brewers, but you do have Max Meyer at least going, and, Brewers favored here. It feels like it's still a pretty good price for the Marlins. Their offense has run cold now all of a sudden, just 1 run in each of their last 2 games against Cantillo and against Messick in there. Off the starters anyway. They scored 3 runs in the 2 games combined. In fact, the Marlins in these losses have just 6 runs in their last 4 games. So, yeah, maybe they're not all that they were there for several weeks. It feels like the offense was really good. So maybe this is more the outlier right now. Drohan's got a big-time fastball here, and usually when he gets through the order through the second time, that's when he starts to go a little south, and you got to go get him. So the Marlins here did use 4 pitchers yesterday. The Brewers used 5. So let's see what happens here. And we got Diamondbacks 4-9 legacy. Robert McCormick's on the Brewers in there. I think Blake's on the under here in this one. So you guys got your play in here, and I'm going to take the Marlins here in this one. Give me Miami tonight. I'm going to go ahead and try this at a plus $1.10, $1.15 or so. I'm going to try Max Meyer here to, maybe I like him too a little bit here over Drohan, but Drohan's another good pitcher right now for Milwaukee. Okay. Oh, for sure, 9 legged. The AI will probably destroy the world in the end, I'm sure, but unless somebody else does it first. All right. Getting ready to use that. Going to get ready to use that nuke here. They're going to call nuke back to work. All right. Next up, the Orioles are taking on the Astros here in this one. Trevor Rogers goes for the Orioles. He's looked pretty good here since getting back right now. Rogers has really been looking a lot better. Spencer Arrighetti's not looking much better here right now compared to last year or even beginning of this season. He's kind of gone south. The Orioles are the hot team here. They're only 4 games under 500. The bats aren't great, but they are right now. And the pitching's been good too. Arrighetti should be better than this, 1.33 whip. He has a good strikeout record here. And Rogers, like I said, if you look at just the numbers, you probably don't trust Rogers, but he's been very, very solid here of late in the Orioles. Sure, did they sweep the Royals? Yes, but they got to start somewhere. And I think they might have a little bit of an advantage here with Rogers on the mound. He's looking a lot better here of late for Rogers here. Solid numbers right now, and definitely has kind of turned it around. More what we were expecting from Rogers, I think, compared to what we got there at the beginning of the season. He's been one of the best lefties in baseball over the last month. Just 2 earned runs allowed in his last 4 games and has gone 6+ innings in 5 straight. Still not great numbers against right-handers, and, you're facing the Astros, so you're going to be getting some right-handers, all right-handers most likely, except for Jordan, of course. And although they've struggled a bit with lefties, kind of a reverse splits situation here that maybe isn't Rogers' game so much. Arrighetti's coming off an 8-run effort against the Nationals, but who doesn't give up runs to the Nationals? We saw what they did yesterday, and has had some other blow-up games as well. In his last 3 starts for Arrighetti, he's got an 11.77 ERA and a 2.0 whip. So Arrighetti has not looked good. I think the Orioles can do it again here in this one. The Orioles did use 5 pitchers yesterday, so they're going to need Rogers to kind of go deep. And Houston with their struggles, but the Orioles with this win streak right now, and Arrighetti, a little inconsistent. I'm going to roll with the Orioles in this one. Give me the O's. I like these dogs. I like these road teams here today a little bit. Robert went with the over. 9 Legacy went with the Astros in there. And might be it from the crew. Thank you very much. Next up, the Rays are on the road here, taking on the Red Sox. Ian Seymour goes for the Rays. Seymour is a good-looking pitcher here. Yes, a 4.59 ERA, but he's looked stronger than that. For Sandoval here, Sandoval comes in a 2.08 ERA, a 1.38 whip for the veteran. Doesn't have a lot of work so far this year, but he certainly knows his way around a major league mound. 2.07, as I said, pretty good. Just getting going, though, here. He hasn't really been that good in his career anyways. But Boston, you might have heard, they've won 11 games in a row right now and are just a slight favorite in this one against the Rays. Wow. We'll see how it goes. Yesterday was 5-3 in favor of Boston in Game 2. Game 1, of course, they won 10-0. So kept that pressure on, kept that momentum going. The Rays are still great, but they got to be careful here. When you lose to teams in the division, it's like losing 2 games, right? You lose one, they win one. So watch out right now. The Red Sox are in the playoffs. They're tied actually with Minnesota, but they may have the tiebreaker on them here. So right now, the Red Sox probably be in the playoffs, believe it or not, if the season ended today. If you look at the standings overall right now in the major leagues, you have Boston now has moved to within 8 games here currently of the Tampa Bay Rays. The Yankees are just 2.5 games back, but that 500 record would be good enough, tied with Minnesota. Cleveland would be in as a wild card, and the Yankees would be in as a wild card, but Seattle is short right now. Texas, the leader of the West, is only 1 game over 500. The Red Sox are at 500. So that's just where it stands right now. And if the Red Sox keep it going here, they've already salvaged their season a little bit. They've got plenty to play for here right now. So we'll see. Seymour's been great. Give me the under in this one. I think we're going to see good pitching here. Under for me in this one at 9.5. All right, we've got Robert going over, however. Jermaine has the Rays on the money line. And hello to Sports Money Network in there. He's arrived. He's here. And also Blake, Red Sox on the money line. Okay. I'm looking over. There's a technical issue in here today with our chat, but I think it's on YouTube's end. So keep commenting. I can read them over here on my monitor, and I just won't be able to show them. But we got those bots from switch going on, so I think it is a problem with YouTube and the connection there. All right. Let's go to the next one here right now. The Rangers are taking on the Braves. Here you've got Mackenzie Gore going for Texas. And for the Braves here, this will be Owen Murphy. Murphy, a 2.25 ERA and a 0.25 whip. Murphy's quite a guy. He could have been a quarterback prospect, but he's made his way to the major leagues here. And we'll see what we get out of him here. It feels like just a bit of an opener here for the Braves today with Murphy going in this one. For Murphy here, right-hander making his first major league start, been used mostly in relief so far. 2 earned runs is all, but does have a 28% K rate on the season. The Rangers nearly got shut out in their game against the Braves. They have been better on the road, but not against right-handers necessarily. Still, Texas here, despite the loss yesterday, still, as I said, leading the division here. Right now, the Braves against a struggling Mackenzie Gore, still striking guys out, but he's given up 3 or more runs in 3 of his last 4 starts. 25% K rate, but a 9% walk rate here right now. So, yes, it does feel like a little bit of a tall order throwing a young pitcher in there, but I kind of like the Braves' chances here in this one. So, see what you got here in the chat. We've got the Braves money line here for Blake, and might be it so far. So, I'll go ahead and make my call in this one. Whoops. All right. Okay. For me in here with this game between the Rangers and the Braves, I've got the under in this one. Give me the under here with Gore and Murphy tonight. If it's Rangers, I'm looking at the under in this one. Just to note, as far as the trends of these two teams, you do have Atlanta still 18-24 to the under at home. So I'll look to go under here in this one. Not only that, but you do have an Atlanta team here that's gone under in 4 of their last 6. Now, Texas has gone over in 8 straight, but I'm going to have to try the under in this one. Padres and Royals here, and with Griffin Canning. Favored here on the road against these Royals right now. Griffin Gascan, 6.46 ERA and a 1-7 record here. For Ryan Dobnak here, or Randy Dobnak, he's going to be an opener here in this one. So Rangers here will kind of team back here a little bit with their bullpen. I won't necessarily call it is a bullpen game for the most part here. Canning, every game is a bullpen game with him because he's usually getting knocked out of the game in the first couple of innings, actually. Canning has struggled badly. He's been hit hard. He's given up 2 or more runs in 3 of his last 4 starts, 1.6 whip, 22% K rate, but a 12% walk rate. The Royals were able to get to the Padres yesterday. Somehow we got there on the I had the Padres yesterday, but did have a pick on the over publicly as well. But what happened was the Padres, the game was tied 3-3 after 9 innings. The Padres then scored 3 runs in the top of the 10th inning. But the Royals got 4 runs in the bottom of the 10th, and the game went over. The final score was 7-6. Now, I have a feeling that the game might go over here again today, but it won't be because of extra innings or because of the first few innings. The Royals' bullpen is bad. The Padres have the advantage here, but San Diego decided to send out Hart out there with the game on the line, and that was a disaster. So can't do that. This manager is struggling here. This is one of the big problems with the Padres. You should not go when you've got your team ready to go. If you think you've got a good competitive team, you get a veteran manager. That's what you do. You don't go with a rookie manager in there, and that really has been costing the Padres. This guy's a little in over his head. Craig Stammen, he might be the nicest man in baseball, but it hasn't really worked out. Royals have been better at home. They've been worse against right-handers for sure this season, so give me the over in this one, Padres and Royals. I'll take the over. All right. Robert's on the Royals here. Blake's on the Royals. And Jermaine says, he likes over 13 in Kansas City. That one. Look at that. I've got it at 11 there on the screen, huh? And Jermaine talking about Acuna. Is it ready? Are we ready for Acuna's return here today? That'd be great. Let's see what we got here. Okay, nothing yet on my end, but that sounds great. I do see some injury notes here right now actually coming in on that game. Let me see here. Jake Junis is Jake Junis. So let me touch on this here. We could see today for Texas here. Jake Junis, he has been activated. Whether or not he will be in relief today for Gore, that is a possibility actually. But he's been activated here for Texas. Also, got another note here. Baltimore puts Chris Bassett on the 60-day injured list. And that just into us here at the Morning Steam. Also, Soto probable today for the Mets. Semien is questionable. All right. Might be it for that one. I'll keep it moving here. Thanks for putting up with me. There'll be no drawing today because it takes the YouTube comments from the StreamYard. So if you want to get picks here for a week, use the promo code LIVE today over at winnable.com. That's how we'll run it today. Use the promo code LIVE instead of Steam. I'll give you one free week over at winnable.com if you want to get signed up, since we won't have the drawing today. And you'll get my UFC plays. We're coming out here and probably after this show. Okay, next up. Where are we at? Here we go. We've got the Pirates taking on the Guardians with Ashcraft taking on Allen. Now, this will be game 2 of a doubleheader, so might want to see what happens here. But Ashcraft, 3.5 ERA and a 9-3 record coming in for Logan Allen here. We've haven't really gotten a great look at Logan Allen so far this season. He's getting back called up here a little bit. Had good stuff while he was looking good in the minors, but limited action this season and really was not looking that great. He really was getting shelled there. So let's see what you have here. The Pirates, we'll see what happens in game 1. It does feel like a pretty big advantage here for Pittsburgh in this game. I know it's harder to make this pick here or whatever, but Ashcraft has been pretty solid here. He is a slight favorite in this one. He's kind of, I don't want to say he's the ace of the staff here compared to Skeens, but maybe he has been, right? He hasn't been great in his recent few outings, so gave up 11 earned runs in his last 3 games, but his strikeouts are still there, 6+ Ks in each of those, so should be okay. Guardians have been a better offense recently, scoring 3 or more runs in their last 5 games, and at home against right-handers, that's where they do their best work. These guys do strike out, as we said, quite a bit here right now, so I'm going to just take Pittsburgh here in game number 2 today. Another road team for me. Pirates money line for Blake. Team total over for Jermaine. He likes an alt over. Robert's taking the Pirates here as well. Okay, and by the way, I said that the scores were going a little bit high, but Ryan Fox did shoot a 62 again today, the third 62 of this tournament. That's going to show in history that this will be one of the easiest Open Championship courses, I think. He is at 8 under, and none of the leaders really have taken off yet. Scotty is on the course with his 4 under through 2 right now, and we'll see. Like I said, Scotty's still the favorite here, and if these guys are tearing up the course, you got to think Scotty can head into the low 60s here today as well, the way we're seeing it. Okay. Xander Schauffele shot a 66 today. Okay, Giants and Mariners here. Logan Webb against Brian Wu in a pretty good pitching matchup for Webb here. 3.88 ERA, 5-7 record. Wu, 4.22 ERA, 7-6 record. But if you just look at his home splits, you'd gravitate to Wu in a heartbeat here. This number is starting to creep up here a little bit, $1.35 or $1.40 here in this one. But Mariners are able to, find their way in yesterday's game until the Giants came back and stole it from them there a little bit. It was 7-0. That's right. It was a shutout victory yesterday. As Roop they got to Bryce Miller there. Actually, Miller was hot early, and then they kind of beat him up there later on in the bullpen. So see what you think, though, with this one. Webb, right now the Giants, long way to go if they want to get back involved. 13 games under 500 in Seattle. Much better at home, but again, they just can't seem to put anything together long term. Webb gets out there and he throws enough innings every time. He's gone 7+ in 6 of his last 7 starts, but did give up 5 runs in his last start. Still went 7 innings. The Mariners, like I said, they are not. The team isn't as good at home, but Brian Wu is, with his great numbers here. 1.07 WHIP, 24% K rate, 4.7% walk rate. The Giants on the road, their offense really doesn't do it like they do. This offense is so inconsistent, it feels like right now here. So I like the Mariners in this one. I'm going to take them at this point. I think I have them on the run line here, actually. Let me see here. I don't like to go too heavy on a favorite like this, but we're taking the Mariners today on the show anyway. They're $1.45 right now. Give me Seattle in this one. I'll do it at $1.45 here. I think I'm on the money line here, but it has gone up a little higher than I like. Mariners for Bobby Mack. Big O is here. He's on the Giants here in this one. Hope I got all those plays in there, guys. Thanks a lot. Julio Rodriguez is questionable in this game for Seattle today. So, man, that doesn't really reflect in the line, in my opinion. All right, I'm still going with Seattle here. Next up, the Dodgers here are taking on the Yankees. And Emmett Sheehan goes for the Dodgers up against Ryan Weathers for the Yankees. The Dodgers won yesterday's game 2-1 in a low-scoring game. Man, Sheehan, 4.81 ERA, a 4-6 record coming into this one. Sheehan's been pretty good this season. Maybe not the greatest numbers, but definitely striking guys out. He's looked strong of late. Last 3 starts, gives up just 3 runs and has lowered those numbers for sure. So Yankees have been getting better offensively. Seems like they've broken out of their slump. Didn't work yesterday, though, as they struggled against Roki Sasaki. They put up 1 run yesterday, and against good strikeout guys, that's usually where they have their problems. So if Sheehan can keep it going here, I kind of like his chances today in this game. Now, it could be another low-scoring game, it feels like. I'm going to take under in the first 5 here in this one. You know, they only scored a couple of runs off of Cole, obviously, but should be going a little bit better today. I'll try the under in the first 5 in this game between the Dodgers and the Yankees at 4 runs. 4.5 at even. Let's go with it. 4.5 here. Blake's going under in this one. Robert likes the Yankees. All right, the Nationals are taking on the Athletics here. You know, they always say, right, hey, save some of those runs for tomorrow. The Nationals blasted their way to 24 runs yesterday. They lead the majors, I believe, or they're tied with most 10-plus run games. But, man, 24, that's not even 10. That's 2 touchdowns. 23-4 was the final. yesterday. The A's have lost again. They've lost 10 in a row, so don't forget about that. And you have Zach Littell going against JT Ginn. Now, JT Ginn's been pretty okay for sure. He's probably been better than Zach Littell, but Littell here, he gives up the home runs. He gives up the hard contact. Here, the A's with Ginn, he's been good. A 3.67 ERA, 4.17 whip, 1.25 FIP, or 4.17 FIP, 1.25 whip, 10% walk rate. The Nationals continue to mash. The Nationals is what they should call them. And as bad as Littell's been, I don't think the Nationals are going to leave him in here and give up this game. They'll probably go to that weak bullpen. But you know what? The A's bullpen isn't too good either. Let's try the over in this game. Yeah, seems easy enough, right? Man, 23 runs yesterday. You've got two of the four worst bullpens in the league. This should be a freemium. Let's go over here in this one at 11 runs. It's gone up to 11 here within the last couple of minutes because you got to be seeing it this way, man. Come on. Nats first five for Robert. The Nationals for the 9 Legacy. The Nationals for Blake in there. Big O went with the Dodgers, by the way. 9 Legacy said Braves run line. Royals and Giants on the money line. Yankees on the money line. And we're just reading off the plays today due to our technical difficulties, but no problem here. We'll get that. I think it's on YouTube's end, actually. I don't think we can do anything about it or something with the StreamYard and YouTube not clicking there. I know we've been running some private streams of late. So, okay, next up here. We've got the Tigers taking on the Angels. Tariq Skubal goes here for Detroit, taking on Grayson Rodriguez and the Angels here. Well, look, Grayson Rodriguez, 7.54 ERA. I don't mind him here against the Tigers and their inconsistent lineup, but Skubal, 3.1 ERA, 5-5 record, 0.95 whip. You got to figure the Tigers could be focused here in this one and slam them a little bit early. But I don't mind Grayson Rodriguez. I don't think he's great. You know, he has some very bad numbers here overall this season. But, you know, I don't know. As much as he's struggled here, you know, this Tigers lineup, they are kind of weak against right-handers and on the road. This has kind of been their weak spot all year. That's why they're 18-29 on the road. So I'm going under in the first 5 in this one. I think the Tigers run line might be okay too, but let me just try under first 5 and Rodriguez to at least hang in there in the first few innings with this weak Detroit offense. Yesterday was a 2-1 game there. They had 1 run in the first inning, did the Angels, and that was all the scoring until the 9th inning when Detroit won the game 2-1. So let's take under first 5. Maybe it'll go under full game even here. Even Grayson Rodriguez might be able to have a good outing, it feels like, here against in this one. So, all right, man, I think that's it for the baseball. I told you we're cooking here without the plays, huh? Big O's on the Angels run line. Blake took the under in there. And Grayson Rodriguez is terrible, right, Jermaine? I know, Jermaine, he is. But sometimes, you know, the algorithm, the AI algorithm, 9 Legacy took the Angels, by the way. Mostly I'm saying, though, against this lineup, Rodriguez will not be able to duplicate. Well, I won't say not be able to, but I don't think he'll show out. I don't think his ERA for this game is going to be 7.3, if you know what I mean. I don't expect the Tigers here to be able to produce 7 runs right now in this game, the way their offense is going. So it might be 5, but again, if they win at 5-3, that's going to be an under. Well, or let's see, the total's 8. So I guess it'd be right on. Total's actually dipped a little bit. All right, that's it for baseball. We'll go right to the WNBA. The show's almost over here right now. And let's take a look at these WNBA games for today. All right, first up is the Liberty on the road taking on the Fever. Now, look, there's some interesting things going on here with this game because uh, the Fever are in a back-to-back in this one, and Aaliyah Boston didn't play yesterday. Who did play? Uh, Caitlin Clark. She had a career high 45 points in that game, despite suffering from a back injury. She even limped off there a little bit yesterday, only to come right back in. I don't even think she left the tunnel. But 45 points yesterday in that game. Now, there was some question that Clark would have her minutes limited yesterday, but she was too hot to take out, and they wanted to rack it up. I think she played 29 minutes, and they were probably expected to play her just 20 minutes, I think is what they said. Here comes Bryson, and if you don't think that this crowd is pulling for yes, they're pulling for Rory, but where is Rory right now, right? So this crowd is all about Bryson, and he is walking in, and there's no doubt. With these scores going low, okay, if you want to take Scheffler right now, that's fine. I want Bryson here. I don't care now about the penalty. He is going to have this crowd. Look, I think there was a penalty, okay, if they want to call it. But here's the thing. They call it on Bryson, and they don't call it on everybody else, it feels like. And I think that's what the fans feel like. I think if you look at the penalty, you'd say, you know what, maybe it is the sport of golf when you're supposed to call penalties on yourself. I think he went back there and mashed it down a little bit. I don't care. I think other golfers do some similar things. I think Bryson gets treated unfairly. And I think the crowd knows that. And I think you're going to have funny how you can go. Remember when Bryson was kind of a heel there a little bit? I know if you wanted to take between Brooksy and Bryce, and some go one way, some go the other when that rivalry was kind of a thing. But I think this crowd is going to really push Bryson today, and I want a piece of him here right now. What is his line? 9-1. Scotty's 11-2 right now. So come on, Bryson. If he wins with that 2-stroke penalty, the crowd is going to be going crazy for him. They want, they want their countrymen if they can get there, but it's going to be about Bryson today, I think. All right, you guys are already chiming in with the picks here in the Liberty and the Fever, and I haven't even gotten started. So, yeah, a lot of Liberty support here in this one. Will Clark, will she even play? They might have to go without Clark and without Boston today. Boston had her status upgraded from, I believe she was ruled, I did a show yesterday, and at the time, my report said she was out. But now Boston here is questionable. You don't usually see that. But if she's okay, Clark could actually, no report yet that she's out of this game. She played 29 minutes. They've been trying to manage these injuries with Boston and Clark to try to keep them healthy here. You want to keep going. You got momentum, and you need to keep winning games, and this is an important game. So I respect you guys there in the chat in this one. Robert likes the Liberty. Blake likes the Liberty. I love the momentum of the Fever. And Seitu Sabali out for the Liberty. Phoebish out for the Liberty as well. The Liberty do not look that great on the road, in my opinion. Now, granted, they did just are on a 3-game losing streak here right now. Liberty lost, remember, at Toronto there the other night, 93-91. Fever won yesterday. It wasn't pretty, 110-107 in another high-scoring game. You got to think maybe you could look at the total here. I'm getting excited. The Liberty are 10-2 to the over on the road, and the Fever just gave up 107 yesterday. I know this total's gone through the roof. It's all the way up to 180 right now. It opened 172.5. But this one could even go higher than that, I think, but in this game. So I'm going to go over here in the first half with the Liberty and the Fever. I think this one's going through the roof right now. Okay, you guys are on the Liberty in there. This might be one where you do need to know the personnel here going into this game. Will Clark play after scoring 45 points yesterday, playing 29 minutes in a game that she was? I honestly think Coach White. She feels like she's going to drive these players into the ground with this strategy there. Coaching with her heart. I think a lot of times they're trying to manage this situation. Okay. Fire and the Lynx. Let's go, Bryson. Look at him. He's focused. He didn't sleep much. He was on the green until 4 in the morning. He was on the driving range until 4 in the morning. He's on Adderall right now. All right. Portland and Minnesota here. Look at Minnesota, 13-point favorite in this one against they can't cover anything right now. They are on a 4-game winning streak, but they've Minnesota here 0-3-1 against the spread in those 4 wins. Portland's been a pretty good cover team. 6 of their last 10. They're actually about 500, but on the road here they covered. They actually beat Seattle on the road. They beat Atlanta on the road. Yeah, they threw a clunker in against Connecticut. I don't want to say it's a clunker. Connecticut's playing a little better of late. They lost by 3. They were getting 2.5. So I think that Portland's done a pretty good job here overall, staying in games right now. I kind of like them in this situation here. I'm going to go ahead and take Portland in this one, plus 13 right now. Sure, Minnesota's doing a good job, but they have injuries here. Miles continues to be hobbled here right now. She's probable, but we know that ankle's been bothering her. Juhas is probable as well. Now, the Fire, Samuelson is doubtful. Winterburn is out. Gustafson is out. So they are missing some players here for sure, but they're getting 13. I'll take the Fire. All right. Mike said, any highlights? What is he saying in there? Any highlights? Mike says he'll tail the Liberty. He trusts their judgment. And he also likes Robert's fish tails. There, I think I might be against you guys there. It is, Fever's on the back-to-back. I think a lot of people are looking to the Liberty here to, and again, I just want to see the personnel. If Boston's in the game, maybe that's still going to get me on the Fever. If Clark's in there, I don't know. I mean, that was a lot of minutes for someone where you were trying to I'm pretty sure I read that, and we might have said it right on the air. I was quoting from the pregame press, from the presser or the overnight that said we're going to manage Clark and limit her to 20 minutes. But then I think she got hot, and they're like, "Oh, hey, you might as well leave her in here now because she's having a monster game." That's not how you're supposed to do things right now. All right. Just watching the tee shots here. Okay, let me get another one in here, you guys. Robert likes the under in the Portland game there. 9 Legacy said Liberty on the spread, Fire on the spread. Fire on the spread. Okay, Mystics and Valkyries in the last game here. And got the Valkyries a huge favorite here right now. And, man, the Valkyries are one of the hottest. They're the hottest team going. I say it every time about my one thing I don't add, though. I talk about that futures bet here quite often that I placed. Let me see if I can at least bring it up here a little bit. I keep talking about it. I probably should at least back it up. But the Valkyries bet that I have here actually is 33-1 right now. And pretty good play there for sure at 33. Where is it at? 33-1. There it is. Valkyries 33-1 is my bet right there. You see there that I took before the season. So, I feel pretty good that will at least pay off. Granted, you want to get at least to the, I guess maybe the semifinals against the Aces or something, but who knows how that will pay off here. Anyway, they are favored here by 9 today against the Mystics. Now, look, Mystics have done an okay job here, it feels like, of late, but I don't know if I like their chances in this game, actually, the way the Valkyries are going. The Mystics have fought their way all the way back here right now to become, a contender here for sure, a 500 team, basically 12-11 coming in overall. Now, Golden State's on a roll here and feel like one of the best teams in the league. They've won and covered 8 straight games. Now, some people say there was a game in there where they won by 8 and they were favored by 8.5, but that game opened 7.5. It's debatable, but doesn't matter. They're still right there. 8 games in a row, 7-1 their last 8 at home. Golden State's beat Washington in 5 straight and covered 5 straight against Washington here in this one. So I think the Valkyries could mash them here. I'm going to take the Valkyries. I'm going to take them in the first half to get out to a big start on these guys, and I'll lay 5.5 here in this one, I believe, in the first half. Lay it with the Valkyries in the first half at 5, -5, -115. That's what we'll do. And Steve says the WNBA can't afford to have Caitlin on the bench. I agree with that. And again, it goes both ways here. But I still think you're dealing with, when you see a game with Clark, look, it was 110-107. You could say, hey, she doesn't even play any defense. She changes the way the game is played when it's in there, right? It becomes this different game of matchups, of spacing, of dribble penetration a little bit as well, of dishing, 3-pointers, and things like that. So she does see the game. People can be critical, I don't mind, but I think she sees the game at a different level than a lot of her cohorts, a lot of her peers. Okay, that might be it here from you guys. Over 71.5 by halftime, says Blake. All right, you guys, I got a couple more. Nuke is here, I hope, still. So we'll look at these games here today. I think Nuke got a good number yesterday, right? Didn't Nuke? I know it landed. I went under, so I got the 19-17 there with BC and Edmonton. Like I said, to me, you want those games when you have the 2 elite quarterbacks. It feels like, now I'm not saying elite, the better quarterbacks in the CFL. The way the league is going here right now, you need both guys to kind of participate if you want to get the old let's go over every game type of scenario here. Here comes Nuke's plays right now. Nuke, I wish I could show them on the screen here. I'm sorry, but I will recite them. Nuke's plays here in the CFL. He is on the Alouettes -1.5 in this one. You've got Montreal here on the road at -1.5, and the total 63.5. And Nuke says, take the Alouettes -1.5. Thank you to Nuke. And he likes Toronto -4.5 here over Hamilton. There, and that one, and the total is 55.5 here. In that one. So Nuke gives you the side. I got to give you the total. And hey, in the first one, let me go back to the first one here. And yes, I am going over 63.5. You've got Davis Alexander. You've got Dave. Talk about what's going to happen in this game. Now, like I said, Nuke did say take the Owls. Davis Alexander should have a huge game. You know who else? Tyson Philpott. Take him for 2 touchdowns today. Also take Tyler Snead in there for a touchdown. Watch out here. You might want to now. Cole Spiker, I think, is he going to be in the game here? Is he coming back? He's missed 4 games here, but I think Spiker returns. Watch out. Maybe a long shot touchdown here for Spiker, but I would probably look Spiker maybe over his numbers here as well. And Mario Alford, he had a big game in the return game here so far for Montreal. He's going to be possibly a big factor in this game as well. I think for Calgary here, they will contribute, but to me, Montreal's defense is pretty strong. watch out, though, for Dedrick Mills, of course, for Calgary here. Vernon Adams could have a strong game with Jalen Philpott in here, with Dejon Brissett as well, who's looked pretty good in that last 2 games. Man, Brissett has been a breakout player here with 2 touchdowns in each of the last 2 games, and Eric Brooks as well. So, man, I am a little bit worried actually about Calgary's offense here in this against Montreal's defense. Oh, that 63 is high. I think I've already committed to it, but I think I'm going to say it sneaks over here. Hopefully Vernon Adams can keep it going right now, and maybe Vernon Adams here can be boy, I want to take Montreal team total over is really what I want to do now that Nuke has mentioned it here like he has. Let me do that. I hate to change a little bit. You know what? It's going to be I got to let Nuke. He has Montreal. I like him too. Let's just be honest. I'll try the over in the game here as my free pick, but maybe Montreal team total over is a better answer for me, you guys. All right. And then in the other game here between Toronto and Hamilton here, and you see Nuke, he's on the Argos in this one. Man, okay. There's no doubt that so far the Argos' problems, in my opinion, are on defense here. Both teams are coming in 2-3 in this one. So I'm probably, I would think that Hamilton's going to have some success through the air. It's just that you got Trey Ford in there. He's not much of an option here. You got Dolagala. That's where these guys are having a problem, and that's why Nuke is on Toronto here. It's just that, man, Toronto's defense is so bad. Why can't these guys do anything here in this game? They've got there's so many guys on Hamilton. They just don't have the impact players that they need. It seems like, Kenny Lawler in there, maybe the best option for him overall. Keandre Smith as well here. So that's where the problem lies. They don't have the quarterback to go in this one. And maybe it will be. Maybe Nuke's got it here at -4.5 in this one. And he said Hamilton, we do know that the injury bug is the key factor right now in this game, with Bo Levi Mitchell out here, I guess, indefinitely right now. So no big O. The totals really have not come down yet this season, but Nuke says the quarterback, is Bo Levi Mitchell, the starter, and then they can't decide between Trey Ford, who's kind of a running quarterback for the most part, and Dolagala, who, he has experience in here. He had 122 yards last game, 17 of 30 here. So, but still, at 55.5, going to have to go under in this one right now. I kind of want to go over because Toronto's defense, but go ahead and I'll take the under here in this one, and that's the Morning Steam Show. Thanks a lot, everybody. Sorry for the technical difficulties there. I'll take a look at this and see. Like I said, I think it is probably a problem on the YouTube talking to StreamYard end of things. So, all right. Thanks a lot, everyone. Had a great time, though, with you today. And we'll be back tomorrow with more Morning Steam here. Let me see here real quick. I think I've got let me see. I might have a summer league. Got my summer league numbers here. I haven't. These are all consolation games except for 2 games today. Houston and Memphis is one semifinal today in the NBA Summer League, and the other one is Golden State and the Lakers. Those are the semifinal games today in the NBA Summer League here. So those are the games here anyway today. Okay, let me see here. My pick for you actually is, let me get it here, Philadelphia and Milwaukee over for my Morning Steam pick for the NBA Summer League. That is a consolation game there. And also, I got one more here for you on the total side. Indiana and New Orleans over. Now, Philly and Milwaukee over 187. Indiana and New Orleans over 186. And those are my Summer League plays here on the Morning Steam Show. Okay. Thanks a lot, everybody. That's it. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work